Hi guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Yesterday's video on Robert Johnson, I talked about a movie called Crossroads. And a musician by the name of Steve Vai, better guitarist, I should say, was brought up because he was in the movie and he did the music for it. Someone suggested to do a video on Steve Vai. So, guess what I'm going to do? A video on Steve Vai. And how he reflected on his role in the movie Crossroads, and how the guitar duel, how energetic and well laid out it was, and kids responded to it. Take a look. Steve Vai has rarely spoken in depth about his role as Jack Butler in Crossroads, likely because of most of the questions he's been asked were focused on his gear, how he achieved the sounds, which part he actually played, and who wrote the music. And anyone who has ever met Vai will tell you that the only terrifying thing about him is his ferocious guitar playing. But it turns out that portraying the possessed of evil character on the film, especially as a first-time actor, required the famously warm-hearted and wise virtuoso to call forth some rather unpleasant feelings. In a previously unpublished Guitar World interview from 2004, he opened up about his experience making the film and how he delved into his dark recesses to embody a character so unlike him, but one that ultimately became the Generation X's unofficial guitar anti-hero. He said, "There was a time in my life when I was very willing and able to project a very dark aura. I discovered that it was having a detrimental effect on my mental and physical health, and I actually spiraled into a black hole. Fortunately for me, I was able to claw my way out after several years. During the filming of Crossroads, I allowed that aura to permeate me once again. It was difficult because it's easy to be sucked back into that way of thinking and behaving again. The music was more or less secondary to the attitude. I don't usually go to that particular place very much anymore. Become what you create. In those early days, I was creating a lot of dark stuff." He said, "I think people responded to Jack Butler because I was projecting so much intensity into the character. Kids respond to that kind of thing. Take a look at most video games, blockbuster movies, contemporary rock record releases, rock videos, etc. The majority of them are centered around sex and violence. Those elements light up the senses. It's a frightening proposal to look into the future and imagine the type of stimulating psyche, manipulating sensory output we'll be eating. But I also think there are many socially redeeming and uplifting things out there too. But back to earth. I believe the music in Crossroads and the whole idea of the duel was energetic, well laid out, and the kids responded to that too. It was an honor to have worked with Ry Cooder. He is truly brilliant and talented in a very earthly way. Being part of a movie was a hoot. I had a lot of fun with Arlen Roth. The movie is like a snapshot for me of a particular time in my life. I was growing at a fast rate and was luckily surrounded by great people. I'm not a part of the fast lane Hollywood scene, and I don't particularly desire to act, but I sure did have a good time during doing that film. In a nutshell, I got a call from Ry Cooder, and he asked me if I'd like to play on the soundtrack because I needed a hot rod guitar player for this guitar duel scene. I read the script, built a duel concept, and we recorded it. After the director, Walter Hill, had met me and heard the recording, he asked me if I'd be interested in being in the film. I told him no at first, but then I read the script again and felt that a certain side of my personality would relate to the character Jack Butler, Celluloid History. I'm telling you, if you have not seen the movie, watch the movie. The best part of the movie is when they cut heads at the end. And he heats up a guitar, man. He's so good. And I got to give kudos to Ralph Macchio. What he doesn't play, but probably absolutely the best at faking at it that I've ever seen. So, I mean, other than maybe the guys from That Thing You Do, but this is a different, it's like apples and oranges. So make sure you check that movie out, and you'll understand what I'm saying. And Steve Vai, what a great guitarist. Great human being. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless you. And I'll be praying for you.